gonna get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back seat! Tell me where you are, John!
Wolfman's got Nards!
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I want to go back to Scream from 2022, that kill scene involving Dewey. Now I know that that's one of the most controversial scenes in the movie because people believe that it's not Amber that killed Dewey, and at the time when it came out I assumed it would have been Amber because it's more than likely going to be Amber. But with the release of the Scream 6 trailer and some of the theories that people are coming up with, I think that the theory that it's not Amber that killed Dewey has a bit of weight to it. With the early theories of it not being Amber, a lot of people were saying it can't be Amber because of the height of Ghostface in that scene and also the male grunts that you hear from Ghostface in that. Now, those are not legitimate reasons for it not being Amber, unfortunately. Now, I have said time and time again that it's a stuntman or a stunt person behind the robe or underneath the mask, so it's not intentional that the person's taller, it's just a stunt person, so we can always assume that it doesn't matter what height Ghostface is because we know it's supposed to be a stuntman. As for the grunts, now yes, you do hear male grunts and it is probably because it is a male person that's fallen back, the stunt person, but we can always put those grunts down to the voice changer that's attached to the mask. Now that might be very weak in terms of proving that it is Amber, but it is still excuses for it to still be Amber, so I'm not going to discredit it for those two reasons because, like I said, it is a stunt person at the end of the day and the grunts can be from the voice changer. Even when we look at the movements of Ghostface, we have to interpret that as still being the stunt person. A stunt person's traits wouldn't be taken into consideration unless it was truly intentional. The main reason I'm bringing this up is because could Dewey's killer be part of a master plan? And I don't mean a master plan just for Scream 6. I mean a master plan for the finale in Scream 7, which would be the finale, the trilogy of Radio Silence's 3 Scream movies. Yes, if they only made one movie, then we can just assume that Dewey's killer is Amber and we can move on. But because of the theories and because of the story that they're going with in Scream 6, then there is still potential to retcon that. When you look back on the killings in Scream 5, you look at Liv as being the only confirmed victim of Amber. The rest of the kills in the movie are up for debate. Of course, if you look at it as being there was originally only 2 killers, Richie and Amber, then of course she would have been the one that killed Dewey, considering Richie is in front of them going down in the elevator as it's happening. But with any movie and any sequels, stories evolve as they move along. When you look at the exit of Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, that would have had to have altered some things in the script because the movie did get greenlit very early on after Scream 5 came out. So after they greenlit it, you would assume that they had a plan in mind. They would have had Sidney in mind as being part of this plan. But the fact that they couldn't agree a payment, Neve Campbell had to leave, or it could be part of the plan, you never know, but the fact that she had to leave, they obviously had to do some rewrites, and with rewrites, sometimes you do retcon things that happened in the previous movie. I know what you're going to ask, how do we explain Amber's comment to Gail at the end?
You killed my best friend!
Yeah, and you died like a pussy.
Well, she never outright admitted it, she just took credit for it without actually saying she was the one that done it. This theory would obviously, of course, involve Richie and Amber knowing and being an accomplice to the third killer, but with those two dying, they didn't have a chance to explain themselves, they didn't have a chance to reveal the third killer, so maybe they can use that as an excuse to retcon some things and introduce it in Scream 6 and Scream 7. So if it wasn't Amber that killed Dewey, then who was it? Is it going to be a new character that we see introduced in part 6 or part 7? Or is it going to be a legacy character? One thing you have to ask yourself as the audience, as a Scream fan, or even as the makers of the Scream movies, do we really want to see, if this is to be the case, do we really want to see a reveal of a character that we've only known for 40 minutes? Or do we want to see a legacy character that we've known since 1996? As far-fetched as it seems, it only leads to Stu. That's the only person I think could be the killer of Dewey if Amber is not the killer. If Amber's the killer, then obviously it wasn't Stu, but if Amber wasn't the killer, then the only logical explanation to me would be Stu. You have to think about it. Amber was living in Stu's house. The hint of part 5, when you see that Kirby's still alive, and just below it you see there's a question mark about Stu still being alive. Radio silence are dangling that carrot that we may never reach. But like anything guys, it's always fun to speculate. So what are your thoughts on that guys? Do you think Amber did kill Dewey? If yes, then we can end it there. If you don't think Amber killed Dewey, then the next question is, who killed Dewey? As always guys, leave your comments down below, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.